Rosie, back with you again, and look at this wonderful gift from my friend Mr. Z in Las Vegas. A beautiful Baltimore Ravens helmet here. Yes, Rosie girl was born and raised in Baltimore, the glory days of the Baltimore Colts, and then the Baltimore Ravens already 2 championships under their belts. And good evening, everybody. Welcome into weeks 4 and 5 here. We're going to do the wrap up things we learned from last week here on NFL and NCAA football. Let me get the side chat up. One of my big complaints, and I am America's first and only transgender sports betting analyst. So welcome to all of you. And I wear that distinction proudly because many of us enjoy sports and the sporting life, and particularly a sport that we can make money putting some bets down in. Last weekend, I am proud to say we went 9-3, 9 wins and 3 losses. You can check the video that was uploaded on Monday morning that shows the 9 wins and 3 losses. So we'll let the chat populate a little bit here. If you're just coming in, please hit the thumbs up button. We do have a lot to talk about. It's the time where we start separating the pretenders from the contenders. So grab your nuts, sit back, and if you're not making money, well, it's your own doggone fault. So that wonderful. What's up, Morning Dove? Minnesota Vikings fan, and of course the Vikings are doing it up. I told Morning Dove out of Minnesota that team has a chance to really go far this year, and I still believe it on there, the Minnesota Vikings. So I've had to tell people, buck up, grab your and be proud that you have the Minnesota Vikings. It was a hell of a weekend. Things that we learned out there, as usual, we learned some teams are pretenders, some teams are contenders. It's still a little hard to say, with the parity in the NFL, who is going to be there when it's all said and done. Because, well, say in the AFC, in the Central Division, we got a lot of teams that are 2-2. The Ravens, but right on down the line, the Bengals. It's still a wide open division. And yet we have some teams over the weekend in the NFL that established themselves as, I believe, elite teams that are able to go the distance. And one of them is 2-2, believe it or not. But I have such a strong belief,
Good night, Rosie.
good night, Blackbird, in this team's ability to go the distance that I made a future bet on that team. So let's talk about it. This is an interactive chat. If you enjoy sports betting, if you enjoy NCAA college football as well as NFL, this is the place for you. I do try to interact with the chat. I don't like that when I go to a lot of sports betting live streams and they're on there talking heads with the people and they're doing a live stream, but you're not getting a chance to interact and question them. Today I had a guy that was talking about, Tennessee. I don't like Tennessee because they just, they're just a fluke team and they barely beat Pittsburgh. Dude, and I made the comment in the chat, I'm like, dude, what are you watching? The Tennessee-Pittsburgh game I saw was so smash-mouth, and Tennessee's defense were so good, they were carting off Pitt guys off the field, okay, on the offense and stuff. Don't tell me that Tennessee is a second-tier team. We're going to say a lot about that, too, because they have consistently made money for me this year. As I said, we were 12 and... I was 9-3, and let me get our stats up here and let's talk. We'll start with the pro football and we'll work our way down. And welcome to you. You're welcome to make comments here. Most people come for the analysis and just listen, and that's fine. So let's get the scores up and let's talk about if anything was a real standout. I'm just getting over a cold or whatever, so bear with me here. A little bit of a chest cold. Let's see, NFL scores from last week. All right, let's talk about the Raiders finally won at home. Had they turned the corner beating the Denver Broncos, that's not really going to be a true test for that team. And if you're not a regular, hit the subscribe and the bell for all notifications, because tomorrow night we talk about the outlook for what's coming up this week and ways that you might want to bet to take advantage of. We'll talk about odds of what's coming up. But tonight we like to talk about what came in week number 4 in the NFL and week number 5 in NCAA football. I was in Las Vegas, had a very successful betting week. So the Raiders, have they turned the corner? 32-23, they beat Denver. In my opinion, I think the Raiders are a mid-level team. I think the expectations for Denver were so high going into this season that it's been kind of a letdown. Same kind of feeling with the Baltimore Ravens, right? And they're going out big in the beginning of the game, and then they're giving it up by the end of the game and losing by a point or 3 points or whatever. So Raiders, I think that they're still a mid-level team. I pegged them for 6 or 7 wins this year. Chiefs and Buccaneers. Chiefs bounced back after that terrible game against the Colts, where Amendola, the field goal kicker, couldn't do anything. The backup guy couldn't even hit an extra point. The punt return guys, it was just a mess. Well, they took care of business against the Buccaneers. Tom Brady kind of missed a step. Talking to one of my friends earlier today on one of the chat streams. He's been a Tom Brady GOAT guy for years, and he admitted that Tom Brady's kind of missing a step there. Well, he doesn't have the pieces that he used to have. When he was the full complement in New England and Tampa Bay and doing it up the year before last, it's a whole different ballgame now. Now, the thing I would also caution you against is when a guy's gone through a divorce or when his home life is unsettled, like Tiger Woods, when his ex-wife put the golf club through his Cadillac Escalade window, it has a tendency to, you got to be in a good frame of mind to be a professional athlete. You've got to be able to focus on the game, and the other things have to be a gimme. And I think that there's a few things that'll bring down pro football players. Drugs, obviously, violence, too much money, being a thug. We've seen that in the Baltimore Ravens, right? I mean, people that slap the shit out of their girlfriends, and they get a lot of money, they live the high life, they piss it away, they get drunk in a club, they pull out a gun or something and start randomly shooting off. They can ruin their lives. But when you have family issues, divorce and things like that, especially when you've been married a lot of years, and you got to think about what your future is going to be like, how your kids are going to be, how much money you're going to have to give up. It's a tough proposition, and it definitely, I think, is in the mind of Tom Brady coming up as he plays this year, because I don't see the fire in him that I did. It's a beautiful thing to have your wife who loves you in the stands watching you cheer on, but when she says, you know what, I'm not coming to the games anymore, you can kiss my lily white ass, I'm just going to be at home, you do what the hell you want. It's like the fire goes out of your belly. It's like, why am I playing? You think Tom Brady needs the money? You think he needs the endorsements? Is it an ego thing? I'll tell you what, I can tell in his mind that fire has been lowered a lot in the ability to be a winner. And it's showing on the field, so be careful with Tampa. So what else are we talking about? The 49ers and the Rams. People are going to say, Rosie, you're going to talk about your 49ers again. Yeah, it's my number 2 team. Besides my beautiful Ravens, who have their own house of pain. I can't help it if I like the 49ers, because to me they have the best defense in football, and it's shown through the game against the Rams last night at home. This, despite being 2-2, This is an elite level team. Jimmy Garoppolo had a talk with Shanahan, the coach of the 49ers, and said, "You want me to be the quarterback? I'm gonna call the plays from now on." They had a fight last week on the sidelines, right, about why San Francisco didn't perform. Because Jimmy G says, hey Stella, Jimmy G says, I'm either the quarterback or I'm not. I want to be able to call my own plays. Look at what Jimmy G was able to. This guy's a good quarterback. Is he great? No. Is he better than average? No. Is he the best looking quarterback in the NFL? Absolutely. But I'll tell you what, he told Shanahan, grab your nuts. I'm going to be calling the plays, and look at what the result was last night, okay? Plus, you know that the 49ers have an elite level defense. In my opinion, the best in the NFL, okay? Are they going to go far this year? Yes, they're going to be carried on the back. How you doing, Flan? Hey, morning, Gov. What's up, Lou, Starlight? They're going to be carried on the back of their defense. And welcome to you guys. I am interactive. I don't like going to sports chats where they don't even recognize me on the side. Why do a sports chat? Why talk football? And you talking heads don't even see what people are talking about out in the chat. You don't give a shit. Hey, Vanessa. How you doing, Diane? Your Rams lost, but no shame in the game, Diane. This is an interactive chat where we encourage dissent, we encourage consent, dissent, and anything in between. Diane, San Francisco's a different level team this year. The Rams are a different level team. The Rams do not have the same pieces that they had when they won the Super Bowl last year. It does not mean that they're not going to be there at the great figuring at the end. It just means that their mountain to climb is hot. Okay, Chiefs and Buccaneers, we talked about that. Packers and Patriots, it's a damn good thing that the Packers escaped with a victory on that, because they were, I think, like a 3.5 point favorite. Yeah, they won by 3 points, but they won in overtime. But I'm still not a believer in the Green Bay Packers. And I still think Aaron Rodgers is one hit away from that team going down to really having troubles this year. Defense is still pretty good, but you got to give New England a lot of credit for the game that they played, taking the Green Bay Packers to overtime and winning with a field goal. Green Bay, I don't know, but I do know that the Patriots, Bill Belichick has the ability to put a damn good team together and to be an elite level coach. And I hate the guy's guts. I always have hated him. I always love it when the Ravens kick the Patriots' asses. Okay? I am proud of my Pats. They put up a hell of a fight, Hazel. I give your Patriots all credit for the game that they played. They were amazing. Shows you what good coaching is. Will do it. Also, it shows you the parity of the NFL and why so many of you guys and gals have trouble making money. Because on any given Sunday, any one of these teams can beat the other team. Okay? Broncos, Raiders, we talked about that. Cardinals, I like the Cardinals as a bounce back team. They took it to the Panthers, who I like to. But I just think Murray, the Cardinals, they're always going to give you a game. And they're always going to be solid. So I'm not surprised that they won. Bills and Ravens, don't ever let the Ravens, every time you jump out to a 20-0 team, a 20-0 game, 20-3. I knew they were going to piss it away in the second half. I knew it. It's kind of raining. They figure out Lamar, and they go into halftime. It's like another team comes out. It's like a new game. The Ravens can't even find their butthole to wipe it. You know, they can't. They get down to the 1 yard. It's like first and goal at the 5, and you can't score. I'm gonna tell you what. And you listen up, and you listen up good, Harbaugh, the coach of the Ravens. You had take too many chances. You did this shit last year. Instead of going for the tie, you go for the win, and you fuck up. 3 times last year they lost. 4 times they lost by a point because the coach wanted to go for the win. Well, I liked it the first time, and then I hated it. You get down against an elite team, the Buffalo Bills, get banged up a bit. They're still a damn good team. You're down at 4th and 1, and I will tell you what, dude, you should be kicking the field goal and then holding on. Get your defense pumped up. Did all we got to do. Yeah, just one. Yeah, by like 1 point. Poor decision making on the. Just get ahead. Okay, because it's demoralizing to go 4th and 1 and not make it, and then you turn the ball over, and you feel like you're losers. All right, and the other team is ready to kick your ass. The Ravens march right. The Bills march right down the field. Game over. I have a feeling these two teams will meet again this year. Will the outcome be the same? I don't know. But if Harbaugh's in there and he doesn't know the proper psychology of winning a game, I got my issues. Kick a field goal, you know, they might have to tie you to at least go into overtime or something like that. Chances are your defense is going to hold them. It's sloppy. It's raining. What a damn disappointment. Yeah, overrated Ravens quarterback. Okay, he's too easy to adjust to. All right, Jaguars, Eagles. I'm heartbroken. Right. But who pegged the Eagles as an elite team in 2022, 2023? Me. I also pegged Jacksonville as being on the cusp of being an elite team. But in the 4th quarter of that game, yeah, the weather was kind of sloppy a little bit, but both teams had to play it. And Jacksonville starts to look like the Jacksonville of old. We can't move the ball. We can't do shit. We can't do it. All we can do is piss down our leg and watch the Philadelphia Eagles take the game. What's up, Dee? That 4th quarter, go back and watch the 4th quarter, the Eagles-Jacksonville game. That's what separates winning teams from teams that just piss down their leg in the 4th quarter and can't grab their balls and put the game over the top. Okay? My conclusion is Jacksonville has not reached elite level status. Will they win games? Yeah, if it's sunny and it's bright and the footing's good, and it ain't the Eagles, you better get a better playbook out there because the Eagles ain't no joke for 2022, 2023. This team means business. And I don't care if they're down 17 points in a game. Don't count them out. All right? Elite. Commanders and Cowboys. I really thought that, you know, I drank the Kool-Aid of some dope. And down in the sports book, I didn't bet it. Okay. I don't really bet pro football. Okay. Reason being because of parity. This guy's telling me, you know, I think Dallas is going to, you know, Commanders, you know, these guys can't even wipe their butts, man. They're going down to Dallas and you expect them to really win? Oh, Rosie, you don't know. This is like a long time rivalry game. But the Redskins always rise to they always play well. Yeah, they played well for about a half, and then quality's gonna win. I'm no big fan of the Dallas Cowboys, but they got the job done. Okay, so don't buy the Kool-Aid. What was is not is. It's the same reason I get pissed off when people come on, oh, this team is 5-0 against the spread, or that team was 10-2. I don't give a shit, man. It's a different year. Yeah, grind your gears. There you go. Do I use a sports book? I got Mr. Z to make the bets. I don't have a sports book in here. Okay. Commanders, you can pray. You can drop on your knees. You can do 50 Hail Marys and Our Fathers. You're not going to make the Commanders with Carson Wentz. You're not going to make him a good team. This guy's got no pocket presence at all. He should have been going for broke with everything. He's trying to just run around, dump off these little out in the flat, these 5-yard. Throw the ball, dude, and hope you get a pass interference on the 5-yard line and take it in. All right, Browns and Falcons. I've told you Falcons are... What did Rosie tell you about the Falcons? They can be a pretty good team. And they showed it against your Cleveland Browns. They rose to the occasion. And I think that the Falcons may not go deep in the playoffs, but they're a pretty good level team this year. And they proved it against Chubb, the greatest running back in the NFL today, and a great Browns team. Okay, I'd love to see Belichick build another team. It's going to be hard, Hazel, because of parity. Hazel says, I'd love to see Belichick build another team like we had with Brady, Edelman, and Gronk. I was spoiled as a Pats fan. Hey, Jay. I'll tell you this, Hazel. It's very hard to outcoach Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick also has an eye to piece together talent in a way to always be competitive. I mean, look at the game that they just put together out there. Problem is you got a lot of parity in the NFL, and that's the way they like it. That's the way the sports books like it. They'll book any size bet. They don't care. Because they know they're going to get your money at the end of the season if you bet NFL. And they're correct. Okay? But we still talk about it because it's fun. All right? One of the best coaches ever. His Hall of Fame. He may go down as the greatest coach of all time. Okay? Chargers, Texans. Chargers won, flashed a little bit. Don't get too excited. The Texans still haven't figured out where their balls are to play. They're not that bad, but the Chargers are better. The Bears and the Giants, I don't know. Who cares, right? Seahawks and the Lions. The Lions get to let this game get away from them. Okay? No excuse for that. Yeah, Bill was a tuna understudy. I got that. Right? Lions slipped from elite level status. Does that mean they're not going to win games? We'll talk about that tomorrow night, Luce, with our NFL picks for the week coming up. Does it mean that the Lions aren't going to go deep in this season? No, they are. They're good. But on any given Sunday, any team in the NFL is capable of coming in and beating you. Okay? Abso-freaking-lutely. Vikings, Saints, Morning Dove, I know you're out there, man. I told you, grab your balls. The Vikings are a good team this year. And they did it up against the Saints. Okay, in the game in London or whatever. Big deal. Who cares, right? They're cheering. They don't even know what they're... There are people over there watching. They don't even know which way the ball goes down the field, right? They're getting pissed off drinking, And I don't give a shit, right? Long way to go, Morning Dove, but don't lose the faith, my friend. Take this, grab it, and move forward with the year. All right. Dolphins, Bengals. Now, I want to tell you, I'm going to give a little bit of a sideshow here. I don't know what to feel about Tua. The NFL protocol failed. I don't know what the answer is. You know, you get good quarterbacking. And you get people that get injured as quarterbacks, and your whole team is down the shitter for the year. All right, it's like the Ravens last year. Lamar Jackson's hurt. What's his name comes in. He does okay, but he's not going to get you. You know, the Ravens, 3/4 of the team is in the emergency room, banged up for weeks. Right? Huntley or whatever his name comes in. Yeah, just enough to just barely win. But dude, you're losing an elite level quarterback. And Tua, you know, our hearts go out when we see somebody on the ground and their hands are like this, and I'm thinking, this guy might never walk again. Is the game as it's construed worth it? I don't know. I can tell you, see, I go back to the 60s watching the Colts. The speed of the game is faster now. The hitting is harder. The defensing is better. Right? And it's just like, you know, in the old days we had a Ronnie Lott to worry about. And one guy hits hard on defense. Okay. But I'm saying, when you're down, I just think the quarterback is going to eventually end up, it's going to be high scoring games because you can't hit the guy. All right. So grab your balls and just figure that's going to be the future of the NFL. They cannot take they can't take the level of, you know, every week helmets are being knocked off. Guys are being knocked off their ass, and you know, the week before, Tua's getting up off the ground, he stumbles again. Man, dude, you're out of the game. I'm okay, it's my back. Bullshit, dude. My back hurts. You know, and I can see the Miami. He's okay, man. He's good. He's a pro level athlete, right? Yeah, better nutrition, physically harder hitting. Yeah, you made it up with Purdue. Nice. No, they were lying. I don't have any respect for the coach in Miami. I think it was bullshit. What's up, Charles? How much do you think? Because the NFL, remember that the NFL office in New York City on Park Avenue, they're all about the way the game looks to the people watching on TV. They know your wife's sitting next to you. She hates the fact that you're watching fucking football. But she's watching and she's like, oh, it's mildly interested. Yeah, it's, you know, as the world turns, anal. Okay, I'll watch this shit, right? Sees a guy on the ground like, oh, stretchers coming out. The NFL has a real image problem right now. So you might as well just grab your balls and just say, you can't hit the quarterback. It'll be equal for everybody. If he doesn't leave the pocket, you can't hit him. All right? Go figure. Scores will be higher. Who cares? Yeah, poor Tua. What's up, Juro? I felt sick to my stomach. I had nothing against the guy that slammed him to the ground. Hey, man, that's football. All right, but I had something against him being in that game where he should have ought to been sitting out that week. Because I'm going to tell you, Miami does not have the level of pass protection that's needed for that quarterback, okay? So I guarantee you, when he comes back, he's going to get a hit again. He's going to have another concussion or two this season. All right, like the old days, let him hit the quarter. I don't think so. Can't do it, Luce. We're evolved now. We can't have. Yeah, the offensive line is like, hey, I'm back here, guys. Take a look, asshole. Right here I am throwing the ball. Oh, Terry Bridgewater, he'll step up. I don't know if it's not going to be the same Miami team, and the pressure is going to be on in Miami to get out there and play. It's a real conundrum. He should not have been in that game. I agree. I was shocked the week before when he looked like me after I had 7 beers in Vegas and then getting up out of my chair and stumbling and I'm okay. Give me another one. Yeah, right. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying, Luce, because you and I are old school. We've been there, the Bart Starr, the Johnny Unitas, the Rosie Greers, the Roman Gabriels, all Lance Allworth, all the Roger Staubachs, right? Bart Starr. We're evolved supposedly as a society. It's always bad optics when people are being taken off the field, and when they're on the ground like this. All across America, people are crapping themselves. To live the rest of his life, the coach don't give a shit for Miami. He don't give a fuck. He's like, I finally got a horse that can win a race. It's the optics of it, Gerald. It's the way it looks to people. So I know damn well on Park Avenue at NFL headquarters, they're sitting there thinking, man, what are we going to do? Did you see this shit? You want to watch it again, Commissioner? No, fuck no, I don't want to see it again. Are you kidding? I'm having nightmares now. The claw, right? Then they're telling me on the plane ride home, he's watching, Breaking Bad on the movie or something. I don't give a fuck, man. The damage has been done. Yeah, get him off the field. The back was up, Pancho. It was. You simply don't have the O-line to protect these guys. How come Tom Brady never gets his ass down on the ground? Because he tells the guys, you're not going to be on this fucking team if I get down in this game. If I'm down at your cock level and there's going to be you're off the team. All right? Just the way it goes. Yeah, it was a nervous system reaction, but how much can you take? Look at Ali and like Flan said, it's your life versus a Sunday in September or October. Goodell. I don't know how I feel about Goodell. Goodell brought bigger money into the end, and they don't give a look. The owners don't give a shit. You got the owner of the Ravens, who's the smartest guy out there. He looks at Lamar and he thinks, $225 million for this guy? Lamar, go out and close the deal. Now look. How'd you do today? Yeah, I had a great first half. Did we win the game? No, we pissed it away. Not an elite level quarterback. Sorry. Yeah, George Blanda played till he was 55, but big deal. Did he really play? Or are they backing in the pocket slowly, and it's a slow speed game? It's a much faster game today, Luce. It's a much faster paced game. Okay? I mean, it just didn't have, the play design that you have today on there. So that's it for the week. Bengals, Would the Bengals have won if Tua didn't get hit? I don't know. I don't know. You know, we'll never judge from the Ravens because, well, they collapse in the second half, right? Yeah, every sport, nutrition's better, size is bigger, athleticism is bigger. I go back to the days of the Baltimore Colts, Artie Donovan, Hall of Fame offensive line. Like, we never worked out, man. I fucking ate what the hell I wanted. I never saw the inside of a weight room. We'd play on the field after the circus left town in Baltimore, right? I'd just pick up a pile of horse shit left over from the circus, and when they snapped the ball, I'd throw it up in the guy's face across. You know. Yeah, I think one of the old style neck braces would have helped. Yeah, but he'll complain he doesn't have the downfield vision, right? You know, he'll complain it knocks his mobility, but when you're jerking your head and you're hitting hard like that, I don't know. You know, it guts the city of Miami too, because their hopes and dreams go down. Now, if everything's even and you can't hit the quarterback in the pocket, I don't care if the guy stands back there dancing for 3 minutes or whatever. It's on him to still make a play. Now, if he chooses to run out of the pocket or whatever, then that's on him. But I'm saying if all teams are equal or whatever, so we have 17 more points in a game or whatever. Big deal. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but we'll be talking about next week's schedule. Let's get over to a lot to think of. I was sick to my stomach. I was literally sick to my stomach watching that hit. Yeah, there's a lot of rules. There's targeting. There's other stuff. I would agree with that. But what do we do, Luz? Do we say it's a free-for-all? We do away with the targeting penalty now. Why don't we do away with roughing the kicker? Just knock the guy on his ass. Just lift up his leg and, right? Let's do away with the fair catch. How about that? It's like, dude, you better catch the ball, or even if you don't, we're going to knock the living shit out of you. I can't wait to see you grab the, what the hell? Right, let's do away with defensive pass interference. Let's just throw the guy to the ground. Sorry, dude, you didn't get out to get there. You didn't get in there. It would just be chaos. It would just be brutality. Let's go over to college ball. We were 9-3. Started out like dog shit. Well, I started out good on Thursday. We'll talk about some of these games as we go through. Let's get these lined up here. There were some surprises. There's some teams that I kind of question the eliteness of them, and there's some teams that just continue to shine through. So let's look at week 5 here. Now we had BYU against Utah State. We had like 24.5 points, and it was way too many points to give up to a team. And BYU won, but they won by 12 points. So we cashed that. What's up, Shane? It's a pretty easy call. I mean, anything over 20 points. We've been lucky before. We had Cal and Colorado. UCLA and Colorado, but it's a stretch. South Carolina State. I don't know. Rattler's been the biggest bust in the NCAA. The quarterback that they pulled off of the transfer portal. Yeah, we're doing picks tomorrow night. We usually do our picks on Wednesday night, but throw in if you got some analysis on what we saw. Because I still contend it's easier to make money on college ball than pro ball, okay? Rattler, maybe you'll agree, Luce, has been the biggest disappointment in the transfer portal. Because I don't think the guy's a skill level quarterback for NCAA. He played a pretty good game against Arkansas, but he's just against teams that should have been an easier go. So I don't see the Gamecocks going anywhere this year with him at the helm. UCLA and Washington. This is when we had pocket change on. He was busting my balls Friday night when UCLA was up like, I don't know, 28-14 or something. He was riding my ass in my live stream, so I kicked his ass out and I unblocked him the next day. Was I surprised that UCLA was that good? Maybe I was more surprised that Washington's, the Huskies' defense was not as good as I thought it was. And I'm not going to drink the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid that UCLA is the second coming of USC. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet, okay? I'm going to hold my fire on that, okay? I just think the Huskies' defense was not as good as advertised. We lost that game. All right. Tulane and Houston, I don't got a lot to say about that. University of Texas, San Antonio, 45-30 over Middle Tennessee. I did kick him to the curb. It's only, he belongs on a team like Georgia State, yeah, or Ball State or something like that. Be a local hero, right? Go to Akron, be a zip, right? Hey, man, I'm the cock of the walk in Akron. Where the hell's that? I don't know, man. I just got off the plane. How do I know? What state am I in? I don't know. State of confusion, dude. Now, it's interesting, only in so much this game, Middle Tennessee and University of Texas, San Antonio, because University of Texas, San Antonio has a game coming up that we're going to be betting on tomorrow that you want to be back here to talk about. Okay? I think that they're a pretty good team. Do I think they're capable of putting up 45 points every game? Hell to the fucking no. All right? West Virginia Mountaineers. I rode that train. I drank that Kool-Aid. Okay, I made money on the Pitt Virginia Tech game, but they lost to Georgia Tech. Pittsburgh. Didn't see that coming. Ever since Tennessee went to Pittsburgh, and they were carrying the offensive players off the field for Pittsburgh, including the quarterback, Pittsburgh has been in a tailspin. What were they, loose? Number 6 in the country? Number 4? And their shit just went tits up right into the ground. All right. Thank you, Tennessee. I argued with a guy on the sports chat back and forth in the comments. He's like, oh, Tennessee didn't have a good game against Pitt. They fumbled the ball with it. Yeah, dude, but they smashed the shit out of Pitt's team. They carried them off the field and they won. And Tennessee's gone like this and Pittsburgh's gone like that. Tell me again, who's the winner and who's the chump? Tennessee's for real. Yes. Elite level team. Hooker. All right. My favorite hooker. Well, the Golden Gophers will talk. Don't lose your shit on the Gophers, okay? All right. I lost money on the Gophers. All right. They're a good team. Okay. But are they elite level team? Well, I thought they might be. All right. Boise State. Get another quarterback in there. I don't give a shit if this Bachleer or whatever it is. The best thing that ever happened is this guy gets the hell out of town. Right? What the hell's his name? Bachleer or whatever loose, the quarterback for Boise State, is just so bad. They're not going to take that. At a school that has a blue football field, they're not going to take a loser, okay? Sayonara, dude. Back up. I'm only going to lose on Boise State one time. A couple weeks ago, I drank the Kool-Aid, and we ate shit on that bet as a result of that. Okay, I drank the Kool-Aid. again. Now, Boise State. Did you see him take control of the game? Right? Against San Diego State University. It's like a different team. Like a different team. Now, there's one of the few teams that can do a total pivot in this season. Right there. Are they elite? Are they elite? No. Do they have a chance of winning games now that they would have lost before? Let's face it, they look like shit. Okay. I lost money. I drank the Kool-Aid. So, keep that in your mind, because sometimes those are the best betting opportunities because people have the Kool-Aid taste in their mouth and they're not seeing that the turd in the punch bowl's now been removed. The drink has been sanitized. And well, there you go. Okay. I don't give a shit about UNLV in New Mexico. I could care less. Missouri and Georgia. On any given Saturday or Friday, any team can beat any other team. Really, Rosie? No. 26-22. I'm going to give you a little preview of tomorrow night. University of Georgia Bulldogs are going to play the Auburn Tigers in Georgia. You're getting 29 points if you ride with Auburn. Auburn's defense is pretty good. Their offense isn't scintillating. 28.5 to 30.5 points. Can you imagine? In an SEC game, Luce? Now, Luce will tell me, yeah, I'm taking Georgia, and I'm laying the points. Unbelievable. Let's hit that thumbs up tonight. All right. I might be a square. I might not be a sharp better. But I'm probably going to have my money on Auburn and hope that they do it up down in Georgia there. Okay. Alabama and Arkansas. Arkansas was a 19.5 point spread. Arkansas had them tight by like 7 points or something like that. And then their run defense just totally fell apart in the last 10 minutes of the game. Run, people say bet on black and bay. Yeah, I'll give you my bet on crimson to win the whole damn thing, Hazel. Well, the Tide started to finally look like the Tide in the fourth quarter against Arkansas. I was starting to get a little shaky about the Tide. All right. Till that little son of a bitch running back. I mean, they got a great offensive line. I mean, they're opening up lanes that are unbelievable going down there. Okay? Do I respect Alabama? Of course I do. Do I think that they're beatable? Yes, I do. But it would take a hell of a strategy. What team do I think could potentially match up with them? TCU. All right. Because I don't think they'd know how to play TCU the way that they do SEC schools. It'd be an interesting matchup to see. But do I think Alabama is beatable? I do. Do I think Georgia is beatable? I do. Because I think as the season rolls on, the pressure on you as an elite school becomes greater and greater and greater. And every time you take that field, the pressure mounts. The expectations are sky high. And some teams just crack under the pressure of having to be an elite level team week after week after week. Anybody think that there's plus injuries? Absolutely, injuries can happen. But imagine, yeah, he'll be okay. But imagine week after week that your coach, your boosters, your student body, the national press, the national media expects it to be a coronation week after week after week. How can a football team play at that level? Well, we're about to test that out in Georgia this weekend. Big national game. Auburn coming to town. Auburn's loose, got nothing to lose. Yeah, we kind of suck. We're good. We suck. We're SEC. Yeah. We're not Vanderbilt. Right? I think Auburn's got a pretty good defense. All right? I don't think you're going to chew them up. You're not going to run over them like, well, you couldn't, I don't know. They had a hard time with the Ohio State had a hard time with the Toledo Rockets, right? You never know. But if you're going to give me a shitload of points, I'm going to take them. And I'm going to say, go ahead and be the quarterback just hands to the running back. It's all that offensive line. And by the fourth quarter of that game against Arkansas, the gaping holes in that Arkansas defensive line were phenomenal. And not only that, the backs, the ends were out there decimating the linebackers. There were no linebackers. That's what Alabama's skill set is the run game. And opening up the field for explosive, long runs. Okay? Are they going to be able to do that against Auburn? I have my doubts. Because Auburn gets to see the game film, gets to tell their linebackers, grab your nuts because the ball's coming over top of you. We'll see. Because when they start running the ball, then it frees up the passing game. And that's where Alabama really hurts you. Really hurts you. What's up, Raptor? That's where they really do the damage. Okay. Rutgers, Ohio State, I got nothing on that. Michigan and Iowa 27-14. I don't know. Is Michigan really great? They just barely squeaked by Maryland. I don't know. I just don't see Michigan going deep into, I don't know. Well, you could be looking at that upset, Loose. But I'll just give you a spoiler alert. I'll take Auburn in the points and say, I got 29 points, you got 0, now go out and beat me. Because I'll tell you what, I'm going to get at least 14 more points in the game. Which means you're going to have to get 44 points to cover. Hey, Missy. Yeah, I'm going to get to KU versus, that's tomorrow night. We're going to talk about that. And you're going to hate me on that. I'm just doing the under on points on that. I'll give you a spoiler alert, okay? I don't know if Michigan is, I don't know if they're that good. Maryland is a better team than advertised. I'm surprised Maryland didn't even crack the top 20. Having been at Michigan the way that they were at Michigan in the big house. And I was surprised Iowa State has no ability to generate any offense. But yet we knew that they were going to be defensively good, which they were. I'm not a big J.J. McCarthy fan. The quarterback for Michigan, competent. The kid should sit in the sun a little bit. He's pasty faced. All right, get out there and get a little bit of sun. Send the kid to Hawaii for a few days. All right. Upset alert on KU game. There's going to be some overreaction loose on the TCU Oklahoma debacle. Okay. Yeah, another hood. Well, don't insult my Harbaugh for my Ravens, baby. He just can't. He doesn't understand what it is to keep in the game, right? John Harbaugh's always got to take the big risk. They never pay off, dude. He's lost like 5 fucking times. Every time. Oh, we're gonna go for the 7. We're gonna go for the conversion. Dude, you lose every fucking time. Well, there's going to be some overreaction, but I think TCU they're a damn good team. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. Because I was going to figure in tomorrow night in some of the bet I got going on. So, Clemson and North Carolina State, that was a pretty cool game to watch. They really get fired up in Clemson. Man, what a stadium. Did you see that? They're coming in on buses like they're rock stars. Oh, right. And the fireworks are blowing off, and they're coming down the ramp. Clemson. It's a very intimidating place to play. Big scoreboard. I mean, Clemson's an elite team. Let's be real, okay? So they're gonna be there. They're definitely a well-earned number 5. Yeah. You can't F my Harbaugh. Come on, Hazel. Just because the coach makes piss poor decisions. USC and Arizona State 42-25. I still am not entirely sold on USC. And I'm going to test that theory coming up against Washington State Cougars this weekend, because of all the teams in the NCAA, in my opinion, the ones that scrap the hardest, the ones that are going to be a burr under your saddle, the ones that are going to be ankle biters at your feet, are the Washington State Cougars. Not Oregon State, the Washington State Cougars. Okay? I'm going to be excited for this game coming up. To me, this is the game that's going to test USC. Because you got a team that's perfectly flying under the radar. How you doing, Health? Right, they've had a tough beat against Oregon and stuff, but they're a very dynamic, very athletic, very exciting team to watch play football. Okay, so I'm all about that. So we're going to see USC. USC is rated number 6. If you want potential upset alert for this weekend, one to maybe consider. Talk about tomorrow night. I'm getting points. All right? Hit me, dude. Hit me. Ole Miss, Kentucky. I watched that game. I don't know what to say about Ole Miss just keeps cranking out the wins. They didn't cover the spread. Okay, I'm just saying, but wow, they find a way to get the job done. Sometimes they look real dopey out there and real stupid, but they just find a way to win the game. And I've never been really too sold on Kentucky anyway this year, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Cougars by 2. Exactly. Yes, you're a proud Cougar there. I do like the Cougars. I do. I remember the game against Oregon. I wanted them to ring dipshit Bo Nix. Okay? Oklahoma State and Baylor. I don't get Baylor's a good team. But Oklahoma State's better. Penn State, Northwestern. I don't care. 17-7, dude. I don't know if Penn State's going to have what it takes to. They're rated number 11. You really think that they're? I don't know. And then we had Stanford 45-27 to Oregon. I don't care. Mississippi State, Texas A&M. Mississippi State's a good team. TCU, wow. I like TCU. I like the way they coach. I like the way the team looked on paper this year. I like the way that they took care of SMU. Or they will. Did they play SMU? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. Am I confusing with anyway, I've liked the way that they played this year. And they just totally dismantled Oklahoma. Yeah. I mean, I'm watching it on big screen in a casino. They're just running over top of these guys. They're such huge holes open. But is it because TCU is that good, or is Oklahoma overrated? There's the question to be answered. We don't know yet on that. But I'll tell you, TCU is beautifully coached. Okay. Purdue and Minnesota, I drank the Kool-Aid. Where's Luce? Pass me some of that Golden Gophers. Like Western Kentucky. All of a sudden, when you confront a good team, the shit hits the fan, man. And the points go way down. There wasn't any more high flying. Right? Right. We're the Golden Gophers. We're at 50, 60 points in the game. It's over, babe. Okay? The Golden Gophers aren't elite level team. They're good. It's like Western Kentucky. I took the points on Troy, right? And I thought Troy's a much stronger, more athletic, hard-hitting team than Western Kentucky, and it paid off. Same kind of deal. It's easy to put up 70 points when you're not playing any kind of defense, but put a good defense in, you're going to have some problems. So I'm going to give you a little heads up. Western Kentucky's playing this weekend. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. It's a good chance to bet unders coming up. Okay, on that game. Purdue really kind of rounding in and finally starting to show, finally grabbing their balls and going out and playing football. I know, lots of sugar, gallons of Kool-Aid, okay? Wake Forest, FSU. I'm not a big FSU fan. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not. Yeah, they're fun. They're exciting. Knoll Nation, right? Riding out on the horse. The Chief, yeah, the Spears. I'm not. No. They already busted my balls on the Louisville game. Even though I think did we win, or it was a 3-point either way? Maybe we won I don't know. I don't think they're not an elite level school. Okay, Wake Forest is a better product, I think. Georgia Tech and Pitt. Is Georgia Tech that good, or is Pitt that bad? We're going to test that this weekend. Okay. But I have a feeling Pitt is just circling the drain. Okay. Ever since the Tennessee game, Tennessee just busted up that Pitt offense. And it's been a non-factor. What were they, loose? Number 4? First game of this after the first win against West Virginia, they were ranked 4 or 5. Certainly no lower than 8. So, no, I just say Pittsburgh's not that good. Georgia Tech's not that great. Is it going to be a problem? It could be. Because I got Georgia Tech favored into the mix coming up on a bet this weekend. Am I a little concerned? I don't know. Maybe I took the over-under. I don't know. We'll know tomorrow night when we talk about the bets that went down. Kansas State and Texas Tech. I like Kansas State. They've been flying under the radar screen a little bit. Navy, Air Force. I don't know. I don't know. ever since Air Force screwed up against Wyoming, I'm just like, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Georgia State and Army, who cares? Okay. Louisville and Boston College. Holy Cunningham, what happened, dude? What the hell happened? Here's a quarter. Call your mom and tell her you're not going to be an NFL quarterback. Okay? How in the hell is BC that good? Or did they just grab their nuts and learn how to play football? Well, obviously they learned how to play football. Did I drink the Kool-Aid on Louisville? No, I didn't. I pushed that drink aside before that. All right. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. All right. You never get a second go round. Okay? Temple, Memphis. I mean, is Temple still around? I thought they folded up in, I don't know. Illinois, Wisconsin. Love it. Love it. Going to factor into my bet coming up this weekend because we got a really ugly under here. 34.5 points. Give you a little spoiler alert. Iowa and Illinois. 34.5 points. It's almost an unprecedented low number of points for a game. I got news for you. Illinois is a pretty good team. Don't judge by that first shithole game they had against Indiana. They should have won that game. Because Indiana's gone down the toilet. They're lousy. But Illinois has found form this year. How you doing, Kelly? Don't put my helmet away. Don't you dare. Quote the Raven, never more will I win a big game. Thank you. I'm a 49ers fan too, thank God. All right. I've liked Illinois since game one. All right. There's no way that Illinois and Iowa are going to score under 34.5 points in this game. You want to drink the Kool-Aid? That's nice, Kelly. I'm glad, honey. You want to drink the Kool-Aid? Do it, honey. All right. I'm not drinking it. Okay. James Madison University. You guys know how App State broke my heart to the extent for the first time in the history of sports betting, somebody actually picked up a pen and a piece of paper, a stamp and an envelope, and wrote a letter to the accounts payable department in the treasurer comptroller's office with an invoice to pay my sports betting bill that you guys lost. You're up 28-3 and you don't score another point. And James Madison comes back and beats the hell out of you. James Madison, folks, is for real. Signetti is a hell of a coach. He's not all flailing around in the conference, in the post-game show, the pregame. The guy's about the most serious college coach besides Nick Saban I've ever seen in my life. Ward. James Madison figures into my betting this weekend coming up. This team is for reals. And I even think we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm getting a bargain. I don't like to lay a lot of points these days, but we'll see. Ball State, who cares? Only to the extent that Northern Illinois is in there, and they're going to figure in this weekend. Eastern Michigan, UMass, who cares? Right? Even your mothers don't like you. Okay. East Carolina, USF. App State, Citadel, who cares? App State just do. Buffalo, Miami, Ohio, who cares? Kansas, Iowa State, 14-11. Iowa State's pretty good. This was a good one. I like the Kent State Golden Flash. Beat Ohio 31-24 in overtime. Michigan and Maryland. I think Maryland should be in the top 20. Yeah, JM is like 42-2 at home. James Madison's won a shitload of championships. Okay. I wish I did a little more research before I piss the money away on App State. But that university owes me, and I'm waiting for my return payment. Virginia, Maryland, I think Maryland should be in the top 20 team. They're consistent. They're good. They're going to figure into my betting tomorrow. Toledo and Central Michigan. Toledo's got the coolest quarterback. I can't remember this kid's name. This kid is unbelievably gifted and athletic. And I know the transfer portal's coming after this kid like in a major freaking way. The Toledo Rockets are an unbelievable team. They gave, like Ohio State, I think, a run for their money. Yeah, so is North Dakota State. Yeah, I get that. Toledo is going to figure into the betting. I like the team. The quarterback is phenomenal for that Toledo. UConn, Fresno. What the hell happened to Fresno? Will Hainer, man. That's what happened to Fresno. Turn out the lights. Call your mom. Tell her to come and send an Uber to pick you up. The season's over. All right. I hate to be the one to tell you. When you lose to UConn, you can't even walk on the campus and with all the sun-made raisin people in Fresno, you can't even walk on the campus, dude. Oh, isn't that? Oh, shit, they lost. Don't say anything. Don't make them feel bad. They lost to UConn. What? Remember Fresno was playing BYU so hard, or the Cougars? Washington State playing so beautifully. Grab your nuts. Just face it, the season is over. South Alabama, Louisiana, I don't care. Syracuse 59-0 over Wagner. I don't know. What do I think about Syracuse? I don't know. Sometimes they're great, then they're struggling against Virginia. They're winning by 2 points. I don't know. I swear I can't get a fix on this team. They got like a 10th year quarterback, red shirt. I don't know. I'm not putting any money on them. UTEP 41-35. Cal and Washington State. Made money on that. Love, I'm a Cal fan through and through, but I'm a realist too. They're thinkers. They're not football players, okay? They win Nobel Prizes, Olympic gold medals and shit. They're not football players, all right? but they do produce the best quarterbacks. Goff, right? Aaron Rodgers, etc. Running backs, Marshawn Lynch. Okay, Washington State. Yeah, like 40-year-olds playing for BY. It's all these 10, guys been there since 1974. They're still redshirted, right? Crazy. Hey, Jose. All right, Washington State. Let's see what they do against USC. My boys be running around like maniacs on that field, driving USC nuts out there. I'm just saying. Luce, I'm going to let you have the Kool-Aid. There you go. Liberty, I like. Old Dominion, Western Michigan, Arkansas State, LSU, and Auburn. There's one. If you triangulate the games, we'll talk about this tomorrow, but Auburn gave a good effort against LSU, and they could have won the game. Now, is LSU that good, or is Auburn just improved a lot? Well, probably a little bit of a combination of both. Okay, but we'll see coming up. We'll talk about that. My thoughts on that tomorrow night. Cincinnati's a good, rock-solid team. Tulsa's a good team. All right, flying under the radar. Just a few tough beats. And I'm just saying, Cincinnati, week in, week out, the Bearcats are tough. And they're good, and they win. Okay? Are they elite level? They could potentially beat an elite level team. All right? That's kind of the way I feel about their program, is given the right night, the right crowd, Cincinnati can be tough as nails. All right. I'll continue to always keep an eye on them. Troy, I had Troy against Western Kentucky. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid on. Here's another spoiler alert coming up. Western Kentucky's playing Texas San Antonio. Oh, they're going to be running up the score. Watch. 70.5. That's a lot of fucking touchdowns. Let's hear the crickets. I don't know. But I know Troy has continued to improve every week. They really did beat App State. If a team beats you on a Hail Mary, they didn't win the game. You did. So you take the box score and you throw it out. Troy State is putting a good team on the field. I will continue to make money. I've made cash 2 times on this team. I will continue to cash this year. Well coached, very humble coach. Knows how to continue to improve as the year goes on, and I'm impressed. Duke. I fucking love Duke. I'm just saying. Leonard, Mike. Yeah, I can't ever forget his coach's name. Not Mike Knowles. Elko. God, what a turnaround in a year. This guy's a sophomore quarterback. Leonard. I'm still on the Duke train, guys. I doubled up bets last week. Did 2 bets on Duke. I felt that good about it. Okay. Duke is just as solid as a rock. And I think that they're going to continue. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. Indiana and Nebraska. Well, Nebraska won. Big deal. Right? Finally got people something to cheer about. Well, guess what? Indiana sucks. All right. There's your bad news tonight. So, Rice, UAB, who cares? West Virginia losing to Texas, the wheels are kind of coming off. I don't think, JT Daniels, I had a little higher expectations. But Texas is a good team. Okay. San Jose State University against Wyoming. They're looking fairly good. And Arizona and Colorado, what can I tell you? What a lousy Colorado. Feel sorry for them. What an ass kicking. But a very interesting slate. Yeah, Nebraska plays Friday night. We're going to look at lines tomorrow night and figure out where we might have an edge coming up on especially the NCAA. I do picks for pro. To me, it's a lot more interesting. Yeah, Wyoming was coming into form. Now they're falling apart. Pros are a lot harder to do. It's hard to have that consistency. And I think that the parity is much stronger in the NFL. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to have an opinion on some stuff. But we'll see how it goes. I was 9-3, 24-12 overall now for the season, which is respectable. Remember, Billy Walters, the greatest sports bettor of all time, has a 55% win-loss percentage. So bear that in mind. Do I expect to have that kind of weekend? No. I expected I might have a reverse on one of those because you never know. I've got to look for the edge where I can get it. I don't think pros, in my opinion, pros are no. Well, it depends. Some games, yeah. So anyway, guys, Vegas Rosie, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for being here tonight. Very interesting hour and 21 minutes. If you've not hit that thumbs up button, yeah, not bad, Ward. Have there been some things that I thought I really made a piss poor pick? Yeah. But I can't go back in time. And got to keep moving ahead with the bets. So we'll be talking about them tomorrow. I don't disclose every bet, but I'm going to tell you the way I think about the games and things and the way I think it could potentially do. But let's just put it this way. When you're giving 29.5 points to an SEC team that barely lost to LSU, something to think about. All right, guys, thank you. Thumbs up or appreciate it. See you tomorrow night.